Alright, so welcome back to the channel. I kind of just wanted to come on here and talk about this Naomi Osaka situation. Mental health. I feel like mental health and depression is important. And the job I work for currently, they take it seriously. Like if you have mental health or depression, like they'll just give you the day off. Like they'll be like, "Oh, do you need a day off?" Like you can take a day off. Like it is what it is. Like most jobs, I feel like, especially nowadays, like if you come out about some mental health or depression, not all jobs, but some of them will be very understanding. In this situation with Naomi Osaka, she's a tennis player, full time, full time tennis player, makes ridiculous amounts of money. Came out about mental health, depression, and has to take time away from the French Open. She's getting fined $15,000. I guess apparently it was in the contract that she has to show up. She has obligations. Excuse me, and stuff that she has to fulfill or whatever. But like, that's wild. That's wild to me, bro. That's crazy. Bless me, by the way. Let's get into this. I want to see what Stephen A. Smith has to say about this, because of course I react to videos on this channel, but I think it's important, and I think she should be given leeway in this situation. Like it should be taken seriously. Mental health, depression. She's taking time off. She shouldn't be getting fined. Maybe they lose money, but like that should be taken into consideration beforehand. That players could not do the whole thing. Like imagine what if a player died? What if a player like went crazy, like or something like that should be take all of that should be taken into consideration. And how the player, the player's physical and mental health should be the top priority the whole time. Like I don't understand.
Fined by the tournament after not participating in a post-match press conference after her first round match. Here's a portion of Osaka's statement from today. Quote, "Hey everyone, this isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious, so I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press
As she
conferences.
should.
I'm going to take some time away from the court now."
As she should be allowed to do. Like if yeah, I mean, mental health and depression. I don't think I've ever had to deal with like serious depression, but I feel like I understand it for the most part. And when you're depressed or when you're not even when you're sad or whatever, like when you don't like first of all, I don't even think depression is actual sadness. Sometimes when you're depressed, you just have no energy. You have no life. You don't feel like doing nothing for the whole day. You'll just sit and lay in bed. I've actually done that before. Like laid in bed like the whole day, then barely anything, bro. And it's not a good feeling. But I wouldn't say I've suffered from depression, but I've done it. I've done that before, bro. And when you're depressed, you don't want to do nothing, bro. And she should be allowed to, take that time off, not have to deal with conferences. That's only gonna hurt her and make her feel worse, and she's not gonna be able to perform at the best of her ability. I want her to do this championship and not play at the best of her ability, or do y'all want to see her play at the best of her ability? You gotta make up your mind.
But when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans."
That was a good thing
End
to
quote.
say. She's not just
First of all, let me
focused on
say
herself.
that I completely support Naomi Osaka because she was honest and open about what's going on with her. Since the US Open in 2018, this four-time Grand Slam champion, she's been suffering from depression. She's been honest and very forthcoming about that. And that takes a lot of courage to admit that that's something that you're dealing with and the challenges that come with it. We should stand up and we should applaud her for being honest and open about it and explaining in detail that that was her reason as to why she didn't want to be available to the media. For that, a whole bunch of folks out here should be incredibly grateful because mental health is incredibly paramount. And if we never understood it before, we certainly understand it in this day and age. Having said that, let's also understand that this is an amateur.
Here comes the but. He's about to be hypocritical and contradict himself.
She's a professional. And what she was asked to do by the French Open is what she's asked to do everywhere in the world of professional tennis, as is the case with many other professional sports leagues. You have media obligations. They're a part of your contractual obligation because the media assist in helping the sport promote the sport, which ultimately facilitates you not only getting the recognition and notoriety.
So he's like, cause you're not doing this, you're not helping the media promote the sport, and therefore they're losing money, and therefore you gotta pay back that money. So that's why you're gonna get fined. He basically said, "F your mental health right here." That's basically what he's saying right here. Is it like she signed a contract, but it's like, yeah, you might be depressed, but you still gotta fulfill this contract though. Fuck your mental health. You feel me? That's like this is what they mean by when you sign your soul over to the devil. Like, this is what that literally means. Like, no matter what you're going through, no matter what happens in your life, you have to fulfill these obligations. You have to do this. She literally signed this obligation. Now she's getting fined $15,000. Her grandma could have died. Her mom could have died. Her dad could have died. Someone close to her and her family could have died. And they would have been like, no, you can't leave. You can't leave. No. You're going to get fined $15,000, maybe even more. Maybe even a suspension. Even though your family member died, you have to do this. Like, she's depressed and there's just, fuck that. Bet you if a family member died, they'd still be like, fuck that, you gotta do this. This is what it means to sign your soul over to the devil.
Variety you deserve, but the dollars that come along with it. It goes hand in hand. Everything is not ideal. We understand really that.
He's only putting on a front for media and acting like he cares in the beginning. That's why he's saying all of this shit near the end.
And so because of it, they did have a point when they initially fined her $15,000 and threatened future fines, if not flat out suspension from the tournament. So it's good that she's going to take some time.
Who cares about suspension from the tournament? I'm pretty sure she would be fine with that, honestly. She'd probably rather be suspended so that she can deal with her problems, without having to worry about the tournament at all, than like having them hit her up trying to get her to come back. Like, might as well just suspend her so she can focus on herself and what she's going through right now.
Time away from the sport, and ultimately she's going to return and she's going to engage in conversations in terms of how to move forward and deal with these matters accordingly. But let's be clear about one thing. While we should completely support her, she does not get to make new rules. The sport is the sport.
Yeah, that type of behavior, the type of shit that he's saying out of his mouth right now is why, the media and these big companies are like literal monsters. Like, they're demons in disguise. Like, what he's saying, I bet you is a script that someone in the background told him he was supposed to say. You can't come in and change rules. Why? Because we already set the rules. You got to go by what's on that dotted line, what you signed. You signed your soul over. Now, you can't just choose to not do it. You got to entertain the fans. You have to be in front of the camera. Like, fuck being depressed. Like, what? What's that? You not hurt. You still alive. You gotta do what we trained you to do. You a monkey, right? That's basically what the media does to everyone, not just black people, but mostly black people, because apparently black people are here to entertain you. That's what we're here for. We're here to entertain everyone. We entertain every race, and then they treat us like garbage. You feel me?
You voluntarily signed up to participate in that sport. You are a professional, and those professional obligations should not go anywhere in the near future.
Should not go
Thanks.
anywhere, and those professional obligations should not go anywhere in the near future. All right, all right. What he just said kind of gets me tight because it's like he pretended to care in the beginning, but then everything he said after that just completely contradicts his pretend caring in the beginning. I bet you someone had a paper or he had something in front of him for telling him what to say exactly, because he said that to the T to make it not look like he was to make it not look like he was coming for her by saying that shit in the beginning, but then he came for her in the end. You see how they play games, the media plays games, everyone's strategic in what they're saying. What he said just a while ago was very strategic. And yeah, he doesn't really support her. It's all a lie. It's all a falsification just to make you believe like he does, but he doesn't. He doesn't care. And the people behind on the behind the U.S. Open people, the French Open people, they don't care. They just want their bread. ESPN, they don't care. Trust me, no one actually cares. They just pretend like they care, and that's with most things in life. So I just thought this was something I should talk about. But her mental health and her depression, she's right for withdrawing, and she should leave that. And she should take care of herself first because they don't really care about her.